All right, welcome back to another study session. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date. Hit the notification bell if you want a reminder to study, and like if you did your homework. So today, getting into my lesson review. I think going forward, there's a couple of things I kind of know how I'm going to be moving or what I'm going to be doing, not moving, this week. My teacher gave me a lot of specific things to do to kind of give me more direct homework guidance. And then I also learned a lot of specific vocabulary for things, but we'll get into it. Anyways, let's go through what I did today. So this is just some of the notes. That'll be for later. We started with listening practice, and that's going to be also later. So this was the start. The back was the finish. But we did do 18.3. And we did all of 18.3. So we did not do all of 18.3. My bad. We did all of 1 and 2. I didn't realize there was this much. So we did grammar point 1 and grammar point 2. So shi and kara, and then doyatte and ka, which this is just like, how do you do something? So it's question form of whatever you're asking, like, 食べるか? どうやって食べるか? How do you eat this? Casually? Your casual form? Or 辞書形, which is dictionary form. But yeah, so we will be doing these 2 pages. But I don't know. I think I'm not doing this. I don't know. I don't quite understand tekara. I don't think we did it. So I think I'm doing 1 and 2. And that's that. Do the writing situations. And then she wanted me to go back to do this one more time. I think these she wanted me to do, like write out the conversation again. So that was what she did when she was checking homework. And then she forgot that 2 pages were complete. She expected more mistakes, I guess, because in the past I've made like at least 1 mistake on every page. But this time was probably my best, so hopefully it continues. But yeah, so we went over that. But the grammar, we went through all of this. So a lot of the grammar, I think, happens here. So that's the doyatte tsukurun desu ka. And then here is where we have the shi kara. So I think it's そうよかった。カレーライスは簡単だし、美味しいからよく作るんですよ。So I often make it, and it's. I think this is saying curry rice is simple and easy, and that's why I often make it. And obviously, Tan-san is very confused as to how it is simple. But yeah, that's how we usually start the lessons. Went through all of this and went through these examples in class, but obviously I need to remember the vocabulary and go over it. I don't like doing homework. This is kind of also why I'm doing lesson review. If I do the homework the day of the lesson and I don't spread it out, it's basically, do I remember what I did today rather than do I remember what I did yesterday? Is this like spaced repetition? Did I use this enough? Do I remember enough from last lesson and things like that? So Then, I don't know if this is not homework yet, I don't think. But let's get into what else we did. So, finished all of that in the textbook for today. Some of the notes that we took. So I guess my brain was just confused as to are, ano, and like naturally in English we don't repeat subjects, and it's pretty similar to Japanese. So it's like full. The subject is full. So I like full ga suki desu. Are wa. So are means full, not wa watashi. So understanding the subject and what it is just helps. And this is one of the sentences, I think, in the grammar, or the, what's it called? It's killing me. The dialogue. There we go. And then I was messaging my teacher, and I didn't realize shirimasen is the negative form, but shirimasu is incorrect whenever you're talking about yourself. Because now and in the future, I understand. So it's going to be teimasu, or teiru form. So if it is I know, then it's teiru. But if it's not, it's shirimasen. Just something annoying, and then that you just kind of have to. I understand it and like the concept of why it is how it is, but yeah. Then we have hiko shimasu. So it's like hikosu, which oh god, it's getting late. This is basically to move or like to change houses. I don't think I learned this in Wanikani, but I learned pull and I learned to send. And she was like, oh, you know the kanji? I was like, yeah, I know the kanji, I just don't recognize them together. So this means to like move houses, essentially. But yeah. And then this was, she kind of wanted to test me with the grammar. I don't know if this was like, she wanted me to test it with different forms, which I thought was a really, she probably has taught this several times and it's quick. And to me, as a student, understanding what she's doing is really interesting. So she's like, oh, let's try and use this grammar point with like sickness, or like you have a cold or the flu. And I was like, okay. Atama ga itakatta. So itai, e adjective, but she wanted it past tense. So she's like, oh, even if it's an e adjective, past tense, it still works. And so she wanted me, because all the examples in the book were like present tense. So she's like, I had a headache and my stomach hurt, or I had a fever. So, 熱があったから、お腹が、悪かった。My stomach is bad. 悪かったから。Things like that. So just trying to use past tense with some of these to show the point. And then she kind of asked me for my like own, or she asked me to 蓋を開けて. So I guess this was like the te. Whenever you ask like どうやって, like how do you do it, it's usually te mas. So she asked me how to make ramen noodle or cup ramen. So futa means lid, from what I understand. it means lid. So like the little paper lid that is on cup ramen is futa, but also the lid on a pot and pan on your stove is also futa. So I'm assuming futa is lid. She said yes, based on like my question, because I basically was futa nan desu ka? And she goes, and like gave me all the examples in Japanese, and I was like, okay, so like nabe no futa. And she said, so, yes. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm assuming it's lid, but could be wrong there. And then yachin is just rent. I just blanked on it and forgot. Because I think that is one of the words I learned in Genki. Oyu o irete. I forgot pour, but irete is like put in. So, shumi, hobby, I forgot hobby, which was annoying. Ryori, noun. Ryori suru koto. So, ryori is like cook, but if you want to say the action in noun form, ryori o suru koto desu. Suru koto desu. So, that was kind of all the notes we had. And then we rounded off our lesson with these fun little papers. So, at least for now, I'm only going to show 24. Maybe 25 you saw or pause video if you were curious. But this is homework. So, essentially, she's wanting me to prepare for Aiken 4, which is my next exam. So I will basically need to be able to read this and answer in 2 minutes. So I'm going to practice. I'm just going to reread this, like maybe tomorrow or another day whenever we're doing the homework study. But I will basically try to see if I can get through this in 2 minutes. If I can, great. If I can't, not so great, but is what it is at that point. So, but yeah, I think as of now, that's pretty much the whole lesson. So, other than that, I will see you let's get into homework that we actually need to do. Clear your Wanakani, do your journal. Do listening as needed for the new section. So do with that as you will, but I will see you in the next one. Deuces.